Welcome everybody back to Fire Talk. We are going live after what I changed the title, Isaac. I don't know if you saw, but I changed it to the Padres had a good, not great week. And I think that's very fitting. Obviously, the original title was If Arias is dead, then Isaac is dead.
True story.
But he's fine. He's
Yep.
fine. So that was Isaac's title, but we had to swap it out since he's all good, which is fantastic news. I'm happy that we changed it up. But going live tonight after, like I said, a good, not great week. Padres win back-to-back series. This one right now against the Royals on the road. Good series win. However, you leave kind of with a sour taste on your mouth. Like, I don't know. After the game ended today, I was kind of just like annoyed. Like I was just kind of upset. I was like, well, you could have had the sweep. You could have had the win streak. You have some injuries. We're going to talk about Campy tonight. We're going to we'll talk about Tatis and Machado a little bit. Isaac and I, if you guys didn't check it out, make sure you check it out. We did like a 30-something minute recording earlier this week, just talking about like, hey, it's time to have the discussion. Are these dudes going to be superstars for the Padres moving forward? Are they superstars right now? And just, we gave both sides to it. I don't think we were like super like ripping them or anything like that. We were just like, look, this is a situation. This was what it's been. These guys got to be better. And I don't think it was like a surprise to anyone, but I think it was a really fun conversation. So we'll have to get Chase's input on that as well. But kind of looking at this series, looking at this overall week, I'll count the win against the Yankees from Sunday. So if we go Sunday to Sunday, Padres end up going 5-2. That's pretty good. It could have been 6-1. They could have been 2.5 games up on that wild card spot, getting into a spot where they're almost like, hey, they're not competing for that third wild card spot now. They're competing with the Braves for the first one. They're competing to have home playoff games off the wild card round, especially with Ronald Acuna being out for the year. But they end up not winning that one, and it came down to Matsui. I want to talk about him a little bit, talk about the bullpen, do all that kind of stuff. But let's start with you, Chase, because Isaac and I talked for a long time earlier this week. But how are you feeling about this team right now? Because I think overall it's definitely very positive, but what's your kind of overall thoughts? We'll go through that, and then we'll kind of bounce around the different stuff, see what people are commenting, all that.
The team, I can't complain. I believe we were talking about it. I believe it was this first week of June, second week of June, that if you don't come out of these games with one loss against each team, then you're doing yourself a disservice. And you know what? They've won the past 2 series, and I think they've only lost 1 game in each series, and that's exactly what I said we needed to do. I'm pretty happy with what they have. It does suck that, hey, you have 2 injuries on the pitching staff. However, Michael King threw a gem. Brito's not bad. Vasquez it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't good start. It's one of those things where you're like, okay, how long are each of these guys going to be out? Darvish is an older guy. We don't know if it's going to be a nagging type of it. Okay, let's calm down. Musgrove definitely needs to take some time off. You don't want to ever mess with an elbow injury. We know what pitchers and elbow injuries just kind of what it leads to. It's kind of a scary thing, especially tricep too. I think the best thing we can do is if we can just hold off on them, give them the time that they need to rest, and just get them later in the year. Just over rest them. Make sure they're 100%. We're going to need them later down the line. We're going to need them in potentially the playoffs and the wild card series. I'd much rather have them rest and kind of just, hey, all right, Michael King, we got Randy Vasquez, Matt Waldron. You're going to have to rely on these guys and be like, oh, you know what? It's not going to be a fun one, but hey, we have a couple guys, maybe Adam Mazur. He comes up. He's not bad. I think he could potentially be good, like a great spot start guy. I think as long as we give them a month rest, if we'd last a month at most without Darvish and Musgrove, I think we can come back and be fine. We got a pretty easy schedule now. I don't know if everybody saw the stats. I think I sent it. The Padres have had the 3rd hardest schedule in the entire MLB.
Yep.
Yeah. And we are, we're above 500. And that says a lot to this team. And this with a few guys not even catching fire yet. I know Tatis is hitting a lot better. I know Machado has been hitting a lot better. Kim, surprisingly, if you look at his past 7 and past 15 games, he's hitting good. He has like over an 800 OPS, over a 280 average. He's on fire. I don't know what Manny's is, but the Yankee series was tough. You won against Miami. You won against the Royals. Please sweep the Angels. The Angels don't have anyone good on their team anymore. I know Joe Adell is kind of catching fire. Taylor Ward is good, but outside of that, what do you have? They don't have the best pitching. They don't have the best bullpen. They don't got Shohei. They don't have Trout. You should wipe the floor with them. And then you have AZ. D-backs have kind of been heating up. I'm not going to lie. You got a 4-game series against them, but you should still take 3 out of 4 of that. And then you have Oakland and the Mets. I mean, it doesn't get much easier than that. So you need to capitalize on beating these crappier teams, for lack of a better term, with your starting pitchers out. Because if you don't, you're going to make it hell for yourself later in the season. But Arias is good and healthy. We had a couple guys in the bullpen, or Matsui just kind of blow up. Let's see, where's Machado at? Let's see what his past 15 is. Oh my God, he's not even at a 700 OPS. That is
nope.
His last
whole lot of singles, bro.
His batting average is there. It's like over 300 in his last 15, or over 280, I think. But
and he's over 805 in his. He's got 805 exactly. Shout out beer. 309, 805 OPS. He's hitting up too. I mean, yeah, we have a couple guys pulling down, but as long as we have Arias, Tatis is heating up, Profar is still doing what he does, Machado is heating up. Donovan Solano has been crazy.
Oh, dude.
Donovan Solano's been insane. I mean, our team's just been hitting. I mean, look at yesterday. We had, 9 singles in 1 inning to put up a ton of runs?
Mm-hmm.
That's
11, right?
Do. Oh, it was 11?
It was
9 runs. It was 9 runs. It was 9 runs and I think 11 hits. I don't know if maybe there was double. But I don't think
it wasn't yesterday, then it was Friday. But yeah. I mean, that's all you need. I mean, you don't have to. If you can't hit the long ball, at least hit the next guy over, and it proved to work.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, so I wanted to talk about Fernando really quick because that was our last discussion. Fernando has over a 950 OPS in his last 7 games. He's hitting 393 in his last 7 games. This is vintage Fernando. This is the Fernando that we expect now. Of course, it's not a lot of power in these last 7 games. I mean, the OPS is high. The slugging percentage is 536. That's still really good. But only 1 home run in his last 28 at-bats. But I don't really care if the OPS is over 950 in his last 7 games. This is the Fernando that we've expected. He's been a lot of fun to watch lately. Xander Bogaerts, I'm sorry. I meant the guy that looks like he should be making $25 million. Donovan Solano has been playing out of his mind. Absolutely fantastic. Batting 5th, doing great defensively. I mean, dude, he's playing. The thing with Donovan Solano is he's always been pretty solid. Like, at minimum, he's been a bench level player, but usually he's around like the 740, 730, maybe 750 OPS in the last 4 or 5 years. That is an average level player. That's not a player that you should have picked up off the waivers. So we're lucky that we got Donovan Solano. I just think this Padres team has a lot of depth. Right now you're looking from outfield, infield, like even with Xander Bogaerts going down, you're still fielding a roster of Arias, Cronenworth, Kim, Machado, Solano when he comes off the bench, Peralta going to the outfield. Profar is out there looking great. Merrill's power isn't there, but the average is there. He's hitting a lot of singles, getting a lot of guys over, getting a lot of guys in. Fernando over 950 in his last 7 games. There's a spot that stands out in the offense, and you could even say defense, because if one of these guys couldn't catch a knuckleball, he'd be probably in single A right now or unemployed. That's the catcher position. You're looking at the catcher position, and you see that Luis Camposano's 5 for his last 48 and 0 for his last 20. Higashioka hit a home run in this series, but of course, you guys know he has under a 400 OPS. His OPS is some guys' batting averages. So it sticks out like a sore thumb. It really does. That catcher position sticks out like a sore thumb, and it's unfortunate considering you thought the catcher position last year up until we got Gary Sanchez was bad. I don't know if I want to say this is equally as bad, but it feels equally as bad these last 2 weeks. Maybe even longer, because if you look at Luis Camposano's numbers, even over the last 30 games, it's not bad. It's not good. So that's a discussion that needs to be had. And if somebody could please pull up Luis Camposano's baseball savant, we have reason to be
I got
worried.
you. Let's cover him right now. Let's talk about. Let's get the bad part out of the way, right? Let's get the bad part out of the way, and then we'll kind of get to some of the pitching
so
stuff.
I want to see is I want you to show Luis Camposano's baseball savant this year, and I want you to compare it to Austin Nola's 2023 and 2022.
That's mean, dude.
I'm serious.
Bullying. That's cyber.
That's mean.
Right.
Check it out. I'm serious. Check it out.
All right, dude. We're gonna get reported now. Look at this. All right, here we go.
Wait, have you guys seen Jackson Merrill's baseball savant?
I haven't.
We'll get there.
Dude,
I don't think it's gonna be that good.
I don't either.
It's actually not. It's
not bad.
I think you're surprised. I think you'll be surprised.
Okay. I can't wait, honestly.
All
I love
here
this
we go.
thing.
So fielding, nasty.
You guys think I'm crazy for this Nolan Campy comparison. I'm serious.
So, well, let's do this. Let's give Campy some love because we've been
2023 for sure.
We've been hyping up Campy for a long time. So it's like
it definitely has to do with his batting stance. It has to do with his batting stance. It's his batting stance is mind-boggling. Like, why did you change? Why? It's like when Cody Bellinger made changed his stance after one MVP, and then he sucked for 3 years, and then he went to the Cubs and had a resurgence.
Why is it not letting me click him? There we go. Oh,
that's 24. Look at his 23.
No, that is 23. It's 22.
Oh, that was 23.
Whoo!
I'm not
nasty. Why is his fielding so bad?
Dude, he wasn't that good of a fielder, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, I mean,
he was a really good game caller.
But yeah, and that's about it. He couldn't throw anyone out.
Look at Jackson Merrill's. I think you're really going to be surprised by Jackson Merrill's.
All right. I can't believe Isaac made us do that.
Dude, it's you're telling me it's not similar? It's similar.
Oh no, it is. It's just really bad. Damn, this right here is impressive.
Whoa, that is very good.
I think you guys look at his expected slugging. I think he's just been getting really unlucky.
No, you're right. Wow,
that's really
really
nice.
good. Mm-hmm.
Dude,
look at his fielding.
Dude, his fielding.
So keep in mind.
Merrill has been just unlucky.
Keep in mind the guy that he's replacing defensively, and look at how good he's doing. He's not even that much of a downgrade defensively, and he's a much better hitter.
No, it's true. It's true. That's
impressive. It's great. Yeah, honestly, it's been a lot of fun watching him, especially because, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to be the guy that says I thought he was ready. I knew he'd do this. I did not think he would do this. So I am glad to be wrong, and he's a fun player to watch.
I'm not trying to this is not me trying to rip him all, but I mean, and you weren't in that stream, but Isaac, I mean, we talked about it so many times, and we talked about it on streams and stuff before, but Chase and I did I guess that episode, not stream, but Chase and I did a whole episode, and we were projecting his numbers, and they're virtually exactly what we said. They're even actually under, and I felt like we were being more critical than most people that were, are in the Padres fan base, right? So I don't think that we're necessarily wrong, but we also kind of changed our opinion once he started playing well in spring, and we were like, hey, look, it's different now, because going in the spring, it was oh, they're just going to hand him the job. And it became a lot different where it was hey, this dude's earned it. And I think that changed all of our opinions. And I think we all were hey, we feel a little bit different. Temper the expectations still for what his numbers are going to be, but he can, if he's playing that good and they really believe in him, then it's good to bring him up because that's actually what we've wanted to see. It just felt like it felt before spring training, like in the offseason, they were like, well, we don't have a center fielder or actually a left fielder. And they was like, well, I guess Campy's a left fielder. We're just going to put him in there for no, you know what I mean? Like, and we're just going to rush him. We don't care if he's ready. And then they were like, hey, he's actually ready. And he's actually better at center field, which has been the case. I mean, he's been good in center field. Doesn't have a strong arm necessarily, or not a strong arm. His arm value, I guess, isn't good. I don't know, whatever. But he's rangy. He's really rangy. He's good at playing center. He's good at hitting. He doesn't have a lot of pop. He'll gain some weight. He'll get a little stronger. He's young. He's significantly younger than all of us.
Oh yeah,
that is weird. That's super weird. But yeah, I mean, dude, that's a positive. No, it's pretty sick. And that's the thing. Like, even if his numbers, like, even if he doesn't post a 700 OPS this year,
his batting averages.
But is anyone going to argue that he wasn't ready? No one's going to argue that he wasn't ready, right? Even if he doesn't post a 700 OPS, like it's like, okay, well, he came in and it's like, this is going to be a big year because what does it mean for next year? What does it mean for the year after that he got a full year of playing time? It's going to mean a whole lot. And I think that's where we were like, okay, let's get on board a little bit more. And I think we like, yeah, maybe we weren't like going all crazy with it, but I think we were trying to be realistic. And then we were like, we adjusted as it went on.
I still think he's going to get like maybe a mid 700s OPS, dude. Like when you look at it, his expecting slugging is nearly 500. It's 474. He should be getting on base a little bit more. His expected batting average is 304. I mean, he's hitting the ball, he's putting the ball in play. He's actually hitting it pretty decently. He's barreling it at an average rate. Like his average exit velo is slightly above average. I think he's been getting unlucky. I'm not gonna lie. I think like as long as he keeps doing what he's doing, it's gonna pay dirt.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's surprising. It's surprising to me just because I feel like he's been putting the ball in play a lot, and the balls have been falling. But I guess not even at the rate that they're supposed to be. I mean, his expected batting average is probably one of the highest in baseball. He looks good every at bat at the plate. I mean, he's a great player, man. I mean, even off lefties, I feel like he's doing okay. I don't think moving him down in the lineup or taking him out of the lineup against lefties is beneficial to the Padres because I'd rather have lefty on lefty Merrill against someone than I'm sorry. I don't really want to see Azokar that much. I don't think Azokar provides you too much. I think his OPS is under 500 or 600. I don't know what it is.
It's under 600. It's definitely not under 500. Under 500 would be insane. It's currently sitting at 549.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like you get more from Jack. At least you're gonna get a minute quality bat in the ball and play from Jackson Merrill. But it's a good Padres team right now, man. It's there's depth. There's guys that they got swag. The lineup is playing out of this world. I mean, except for at home, I'm thankful they're not good enough to win the division because I would much rather see them play on the road because these guys are for some reason they are fantastic on the road. They are a top 5 team on the road in baseball and at home. I don't know what changes. I don't know what happens, but they are not very good at home. But yeah, I mean, on the road right now, they beat the Royals, I think they're one of the best teams in baseball. They got one of the best records in baseball. They're a good team. I think when you guys talked about it earlier, for me today was I expected to lose. I'd be ecstatic if we won a sweep while down 3 or 4 of our best bullpen arms. I mean, I didn't expect much, but so I guess I'm not mad about the result. I am kind of frustrated with how it ended though, because Yuki Matsui's not an hitting arm. You could have easily switched Yuki, made him pitch the 8th and put Enyo to pitch the 9th or Brito. I don't know what you could have done, but Yuki is not a guy you want throwing the 9th. And I think he's more of a 7th inning guy. I don't think he's bad. He's been pretty good. He is one of the more sketchy guys in your bullpen, I would say. He's not someone you necessarily feel super comfortable with. But nonetheless, you had a good road trip. You continuously have good road trips. the series that you've lost, other than the Rockies one, they've been reasonable. I mean, yeah, you got swept by the Phillies, but the Phillies are a top 3 team in baseball right now. You lost a series to the Yankees recently. The Yankees have the best record in baseball right now with the 2 best hitters in all of baseball. So, I mean, you're losing series that they're tough series, man. And you've had the third hardest schedule up to this point. You've had Darvish on the IL for 15 days at one point. You have him on the IL again. Same thing with Musgrove. So you've lost some guys. You've had some injuries. Xander Bogaerts is out for a while. And you're still 2-3 games over 500. I think it's 2. So I can't be mad, man. I'm pretty happy with what I'm seeing from the Padres right now. I think the main point that Matt and I emphasized after no, I was mentioning that Rocky series where we got swept was not good. That was one of the ones that I don't think was acceptable. But you know, one of the things we mentioned was after June 16th, you have to be 4 games over 500, 5 games over 500. I'm happy if they split that Diamondback series. I think they should win the A series, the Mets series. I mean, it's the Padres. Granted, they're probably going to lose one of the easy series that we expect them to win. It's just normal of them. We know that. But, you know, considering their position and their stars haven't gotten hot and, you know, injuries to the pitching staff, I'm happy with where they are, man. I mean, right now, of course, we knew going into the season we're competing for a wild card spot. They're firmly in the 5th spot right now. Yeah, I mean, I want more. I know we could be a few more games over 500, but I'm happy with where they're at.
Yeah, dude, big time. And I think like that was the thing. It was like if they would have won today, they would have been 4 games up over 500. We're talking about being 5 games over 500, and it was like, oh, you're so set up. You could be 8 games over. That's when you start getting a little bit like greedy and excited. That's I think why it was frustrating for us, at least for me, like them losing this game. I agree. Like I like Yuki Matsui, like I don't know, dude. I feel like of the guys that come up, I do not have a lot of faith or trust in him coming up. Like obviously the clear guys that if they come in the game, they're lights out. Estrada, Suarez, right? If Jeremiah comes out, you're like, all right, dude. Jeremiah's been locked down this whole year.
Mm-hmm.
And Suarez, we've seen that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Peralta been pretty damn good.
Good.
Morahone, he's been a baller this year. And then you start getting like, okay, Kolek, I think we can all agree.
Don't start.
DFM, is that? Do we even need to have a conversation?
Don't start, dude.
We don't. I don't even think we need to have a conversation. There's better options that we could pull up, right?
I think the DFA is the number one thing that has to be on the table for Stephen Kolek.
Which sucks for him, but I mean, let's just be realistic. Like he's not looked good. And if you look, Isaac, you sent this in our group chat, Isaac. But you look at this series, you sweep the series if Kolek doesn't come in there and screw it up. Because guess who's available today? Robert Suarez.
Yep.
And that's the thing. So it's like that's part of it. Like that's why you like it's not like oh like he's struggled a bit. Like it doesn't feel like he's competent. Like right? Like is that what it feels like? It feels like it's like that level of bad.
There's much better arms in any part of the organization. Like I understand there's potential with him, and that's why you want to keep him up as a Rule 5 guy. You're trying to be a contender though. If you're trying to be a contender, you can't throw this guy out there with like a 5-run lead and let him blow it and then waste another arm in the bullpen. Like it costs you games. It cost you a game today because Suarez shouldn't have pitched yesterday and would have pitched today in a more pivotal situation. But Kolek ruined that opportunity. Like I'm not saying Kolek isn't good. Kolek still needs some seasoning down in the minor leagues. He had his chance in the show. He knows what he needs to work on. Send him back to his original team. You have guys in the minors that are going to be way better than Kolek and provide you more value. I mean, dude, you have guys in the minors that are going to be better than Kolek and give you more opportunities to win.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna look up Stephen Kolek's stats over the
I think it was like
last few.
I think he literally has a 6.66.
He has like a 6 ERA. Yeah. Oh wow, that's insane. Yeah, I think it is literally a 6.66 ERA. That is insane. A 1.64 WHIP.
Yeah,
dude, that's the number. That's the number right there, bro. If you have over a 1.5 WHIP,
Over his last 7 innings, he has a 15.43 ERA and a 2.29
What I'm
WHIP.
saying, dude.
There's not many more signs you need to say this guy stinks. He allowed 13 runs in 10 innings pitched in the month of May. Really, what more do you need to see? I mean, yeah, I don't want to go too in depth on him because, I think we know what the results should be. We all know he should be gone. He shouldn't be in the bullpen right now. There's probably better righty arms down in the minors. Bullpen arms are easy to get at the deadline. If you really need one, trade for a righty, whatever it is. This guy shouldn't be pitching for the Padres right now. And I think a telltale sign of why that is because he came in with a 8-run or what was it? 8 lead, and he almost blew it. You ended up having to go to your normal closer in an 8-run game because the guy couldn't close out the game. A competent major league bullpen arm can close out the game. I think Jake Cronenworth probably could have closed out that game better than Stephen Kolek.
He did strike out Mookie Betts.
He struck out Mookie Betts, right? And so you look at it and you're saying, hey, why can't a major league pitcher against a team that kind of looked like shit all game at the plate? They did not look good at the plate. Why can't he close out an 8-run lead? Why do we have to even have our guy throw one pitch, right? So very disappointed to see what Stephen Kolek did. Because not many people know, or like if you're not really invested in baseball, you don't know that extra bullpen arm that you have to bring out could have trickle effects into the next few games. Nonetheless, it did today. That stuff happens all the time in baseball. So when something like that happens in a series that you could have swept against a good team, and I'm not specifically going to blame him. I mean, Matsui didn't have, but you got to look at it and say this guy didn't only have an effect on one game. He had an effect on 2 games, and he's had an effect on others where he's pitched like shit. So something has to happen.
Yeah, and I think something interesting too is like we're talking about like another potential right hand arm, right? Well, Adam Mazur. Well, Alec Jacob, yeah, as a reliever, but Adam Mazur or Mazur something. We keep doing this. We need to figure it out. But we haven't heard his name on the broadcast. That's the thing. So I think it's Mazur. All right, we'll say Mazur. Yeah, everyone agree for now.
Sure.
If someone says if we're doing it wrong, someone comment and say, "Hey, do it like this," and give us the pronunciation.
Mazur sounds better than Mazur. So
Mazur, yeah. Okay, so Adam Mazur, right? He's probably going to be the guy I would think that comes out and pitches on Tuesday. That's kind of what we're all thinking. I think that's what we're all hoping, right?
Or Vila.
He's gone, right?
I don't think he's here anymore. Yeah,
I think he's gone, bro. I mean, he
might.
He got optioned, but he might have came back. Let's see where he is.
For those, real quick, while you guys look
he's
that
on the
up.
Guardians.
Oh, he's on the Guardian.
Yeah.
Real quick, before while you guys look that up, I was gonna say, Tom Cosgrove has a 13.5 ERA in El Paso right now.
It's El Paso.
True, it is the moon.
That's not good. But hey, he was good last year.
Yeah, he was good last year.
Alex Jacob also has a high ERA, but I'm just writing it down as El Paso. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they were struggling and they had some things wrong with them, and I think they got sent down to workout. And they might just be working on specific things so that they can get brought up because both of them kind of struggled. But I think Alex, if you're going to replace Kolek with anybody, it needs to be Alex Jacob.
Yeah. I think but I think that they're gonna bring up a starter for Tuesday. That's why I think Mazur might be.
They have to. Yeah.
So if he comes up and he's who they put in, I mean they could
go Brito.
They could go Brito. I don't think they're going to. Maybe they do, but let's just say it's
he's just
Mazur.
not stretched out.
Yeah. Let's say it's him.
It'll be a bullpen game. I think that though.
I think it's because then it messes with like Morahone because they'll put Morahone in for 3 innings and it's like let's not do that again. Let's just let him keep doing what he's doing. Like I think maybe don't mess with the guys. But let's say they bring him up and he starts Tuesday. We've talked about a lot of this stuff that's going on. The pitching is one of the biggest things. You got Darvish gone. you guys talked about it a little bit for a second. I remember, Isaac, you said something about Musgrove. But Musgrove is going to – I feel like Musgrove is going to be shut down for a while. That's my thought. Darvish, I think Darvish is going to be – I think it's going to be brief. Before we get into the new guys, Vasquez and probably Mazer or maybe Burrito. I guess that's kind of who it is. The other guys are doing all right. Now, Cease has been struggling a little bit, but he's kind of like went deep in the games. He's been striking guys out. I don't really feel like – not really tripping about it. Like, I think it's whatever. Michael King has been really good lately. He's like really turned it on, which is great to see because he's been very up and down. But for the most part lately, he's been kind of cruising.
Yep.
So hopefully it's like, yeah, he's a little bit up and down, but he starts figuring out, starts improving as the year goes on because then he might be really nice down the stretch. Waldron, obviously, if you guys have been listening to the show, we've been ripping Waldron a lot. Not doing it today. All right, we're not doing it. Now he's pitching tomorrow, so we'll see. But yeah, I mean, I think Waldron's been pretty good too. Like, you got to give him respect for it. And if he can just sit there and have like if he could have under a 4.5 ERA in the 5th spot, right, and throw a decent amount of innings because he throws the knuckleball, that's pretty good. It also does feel like with him, it feels like he's been throwing a knuckleball. I don't know if this is statistically true, but at least in important spots, it feels like he's been throwing the knuckleball more often, and it's made him more effective. And they've been hammering every start that he has. They've been hammering like, dude, if he gets ahead in the count, he's been so good. And lately, he's been ahead in the count. And a lot of times, like maybe it's early in the game or wherever, like he'll get like behind and he'll have a rough inning. But if he starts the next inning and he gets ahead in the count, it seems like he's had a lot more success. So hopefully that's a sign of things to come for him. Because obviously, like, dude, the knuckleball is clearly hard to hit. Like, some guys kind of tee off on it, and like at times it looked really bad at first, but it's been better. So I think that's a big thing. But obviously, it like we talked about this, dude. This pitching depth is going to be a big part of this year, and you're calling up one of your top minor leaguers, probably in Mazer. He's been great. He was great in AA. He was great last year. He's been like whatever in AAA, but like we've already talked about, he's been better than most guys in AAA. So you got to account for that. But it seems like he's the guy that's come up. So it's like, all right, dude, let's get some 2022 vibes in here because you had Mackenzie Gore. Now is Mackenzie Gore a much higher prospect than him? Yeah, of course. Yep. But you're gonna have your, a top prospect that's been performing well. So I think it's an interesting spot to be in. It's definitely a spot where this is where you want to face this adversity in June. You don't want to face this in September and then be rattled and then
not
be all
again
screwed up. Yeah, you don't want to do that. Like, you want to do it in June. So like, hopefully this is like, these injuries are like not that serious. I think they should keep Musgrove out for a while. I think Vasquez has been good enough. I think Vasquez, keep pitching him, let him improve a little bit because like he's shown signs for sure. His stuff isn't bad. But you can feel like he's young and stuff. Yeah, it's the control. When it's the same thing. Like kind of like with Waldron, honestly. I like his stuff more, but like it's the same. Like you got to get ahead in the counts because he'll start falling apart and he gets like a little ugly for a while. But yeah, dude, I think that's where it is. I see people talking about Luzardo, and I know I'm going into like the whole pitching rotation. I don't want Luzardo. Like I know that he's like great, but I feel like, and I see this, no more Clevenger type pickups when someone brought up Luzardo. Dude, it feels like his arm's about to fall off. He doesn't pitch a lot. He has like 1 year of pitching a decent amount of time. Could he be a home run trade?
He does get hurt a lot.
Could he be a home run trade 100%? But it's like, dude, it's so risky. Like, why do that? Why do that? It doesn't seem like that's the right move. So that's kind of where I'm at all in all. But if Mazer starts on Tuesday, I'm pumped for that start. I'm very excited to see that. And I hope he comes out there and looks good because all of a sudden, if he looks good, when Darvish comes back, when Musgrove comes back, I'm saying when to be hopeful. When that happens, right? You're feeling so much better about the pitching depth. Like you're not tripping out if someone gets banged up and hits the 15-day IL. And that goes a long way because we've seen that really derail Padres seasons in the past, and that needs to be the difference this year. So that's kind of my overall thoughts on the pitching rotation. But with that said, we were talking about the bullpen. This will be my final thing, and I'll let you guys get into it. I'm talking a lot. We're talking about the bullpen today, and we said that there was 4 guys that we feel really confident when they come in. It was Suarez, or I don't know who it was. I think it was you, Isaac. Suarez, Jeremiah, Morahone, and Peralta. That's more than most teams have. Most teams do not have 4 guys that you feel like they're going to just come in there and be locked down. So this overall pitching rotation been amazing. So yeah, that's kind of my overall thoughts on it, and also on the injuries of how they're going to be able to withstand that. But I don't know. What are you guys feeling? Like, are you feeling a little bit confident with the pitching?
Yeah. I think the next couple weeks, 3 weeks, depending on how long Darvish is out, the rotation's going to feel a little uncomfy, but as long as we can get 5 or 6 innings out of each guy without like 3 or 4 more than that, I think we can handle it. If the pitching staff does not do that, then it's going to be a hell of a 2 months or a hell of a month and a half, however long both guys are decidedly out for, which I think Musgrove is going to be out for a little bit longer than Darvish.
Sorry, I'm trying to look at pitchers to get, because I'm already dealing with the fact that Musgrove is cooked for at least a few months. I am so
Matthew Wood's still on the market for if we need a lefty, cheap lefty.
And just real quick on Darvish, I think Darvish is just going to take these 15 days and he'll be back. Darvish, outside of a few starts, has looked fantastic. I know it hasn't been all sunshines and rainbows with him, but outside of some starts, he's looked really good. Joe Musgrove, that one was, and I'm sorry, before I go to Joe Musgrove, the Yu Darvish move, I believe, was retro to May 30th. I think it's already been 3 days, so at most, I anticipate him missing 2 starts. Now to Joe Musgrove, he is on the 15-day. Let's be honest with ourselves. Do we really expect him to miss 15 days? I expect him to miss more than 15 days. Now, you got to go back to, I don't know if you want to go back to the start of the season. You might be even able to go further because he's had these injuries since, keep in mind, last season he had to stop pitching in like April or in August or September because of injuries. We didn't see him again after that. Comes back this year, has a few starts where he gets roughed up, hits the IL, comes back, pitches solid, and now he's on the IL again. So for me, it was really surprising to see him hit the IL, considering he's been pitching pretty good. I didn't anticipate there would be anything wrong with his arm or tricep, whatever it is. I didn't anticipate any of that. And you look at his stats and you look at his baseball savant, you compare it to the years that he's been healthy, and you see, you say to yourself, take as much time as you need. You're on a long-term contract, and we need you to pitch to the level that you were in 2022. I looked at his 2022, bro, it is nasty. You look at his other one or his next few years, I can't remember 23, but this year it does not look as good, anywhere near as good. And I'm not gonna make that seem like it's because he's not a good pitcher anymore. We've seen it. He's still a good pitcher. He's still got it. I just think it's because he's pitching through injuries, and I don't want him to keep doing that if he's going to be pitching at the level that he is or that he was prior to hitting the IL the first time. He needs to take some time, whether it's a month, 2 months, whatever it is, but you got to prepare for what might be a lengthy time without one of your top arms. This is already Darvish's second time on the IL, so of course that's a concern. But right now you're looking at Darvish, King, Vasquez, Cease, and Waldron. And it's not bad. Waldron's been pitching great. King's been pitching great. Cease is solid. Cease is amazing. I think, he's had a few rough starts recently, but Cease is amazing. Darvish will be fine. Vasquez, like Matt said, man, if he gets his control under his way, I think he's got great stuff. If he gets his control down, he'll be solid, but you're not looking at that rotation and you're not extremely confident in it. And that's where you hit the trademark. You're looking at guys like Eric, I don't know how you say it, Eric Fedde, Fedde from the White Sox. People are talking Jesus Luzardo, the lefty from the White Sox. I think his last name's Crochet. You might be looking at some. I know, dude. He's gonna cost a shitload. But then looking at maybe Blue Jays arms. You're looking at arms that really aren't really in it no more. But the Blue Jays arms, Bassett's under a fat contract, Barrios is under a fat contract, Gosman, all these guys are in the fat contracts. They're not really options. So you're looking at the trade market. I'm not too excited about it when it comes to starting pitchers. I think I like Fed the most, or Fetty, however you say it. 2 years, $7.5 million each year. So it'd be a year and a half of control. He has around a 3.5 ERA. It's a righty that you can immediately plug in and expect solid numbers. But really, you shouldn't be looking at the Luzardos of the trade market, because he's injury prone. And keep in mind, I love Luzardo. Luzardo is an awesome pitcher to me. I like watching him. I don't know if he necessarily fits the Padres. He is a little bit scary of an arm to trade for. Injuries, doesn't pitch a lot of innings, so on and so forth. But I would like the move. It's just there's moves that are better and less expensive. So again, anticipating Musgrove is out for a little while. I think more time than most people expect. And I think an arm needs to be had. I think an arm needs to be traded for. And this is the theme of the Padres all the time, man. Need more arms.
And trade our young arms.
Yep. It keeps happening.
And I think that's why it needs to stop happening. I don't think any of the arms are like bullpen arms. Yeah, sure. Like we've already seen them trade for Arias. Like we've already seen them trade for Cease. Like I think that's all right. Like let's see what these dudes got. Like, and that's why I said I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. Like Musgrove obviously is not a good situation. Isaac, I think you explained it pretty much perfectly. It's like I've seen a lot of people. Okay, the two guys are on the IL right now. I've seen a lot of people talk about it. Like, man, these stupid contracts, and it's like, okay, one. Let's not talk about stupid contracts unless we're talking about Xander Bogaerts, right? I don't want to hear a damn word about anyone else. Okay, I don't want to hear a single word about anyone else, right? Okay, we're talking about Darvish. We talked about this. It makes no sense, dude. Why is Darvish a bad contract? He's on a front-loaded deal.
Just wait till he gets a Sasaki.
Yeah, and when he gets this Roki, best deal we've ever seen. Best deal in Padre history. Forget Gwynn, forget everyone. We got it, right? No, but in all seriousness, like it's not a bad deal though. It's like, okay, it's front loaded. Yeah, he's gonna be old. Okay, if he plays most of the time, pretty good, right? Like, all right, does his pitching style age? Yeah, like in theory, so it's not really a bad deal. Musgrove. Obviously, you were going to sign Musgrove. You signed Musgrove for a way under market deal.
Oh, yeah.
He's been banged up. So, yeah, if you're not going to sign a guy like Musgrove because you think he's going to get hurt, I guess. But it's like, that's just not like, yeah, you can do that. But if you do that, we talk about the Padres, like, okay, we want what we want to see out of the Padres organization. So what, you're the Rays? You're the A's? You're one of these cheap organizations. It's just kind of shitty and like it just kind of sucks. And players don't want to play for you, and players want to get traded away from your organization. You're the Brewers. Like that's what that is. Like I'm sorry, but like that's what that is. It wasn't bad to sign Musgrove for a 5-year, $100 million deal, right? It's $20 million a year.
Yeah,
dude, come on. At the market we've seen these dudes get signed this offseason. If he has 2-3 good years for you, it's not a bad year.
Much money a year?
Yeah, dude, we know there's some bad
40?
ones, dude. Yeah, there's some really bad ones. So, yeah, it's like, okay, it's not the best deal, but let's not act like freaking out about it, you know? And it's like, that's what I don't get. Like, okay, it's like, yeah, so you guys want to be the Brewers? Guys, that sucks. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, they make the playoffs. Cool. And they get bounced in the first round, and everyone gets traded.
Fuck that.
Like, sorry, that's kind of whack, dude. That's like not like the organization you want to be. You want to have guys here that are here for a long time. Like, even sometimes, maybe sometimes. But that's like the overall, that's like what you're shooting for. So I do think it's interesting. I'm gonna take off. I don't know if you guys are staying on for a little bit. I'm gonna bounce right now. I'm heading out. I'm gonna be on a trip, so I don't know if you'll see me for the next couple of weeks. Maybe you'll just see these guys. Maybe you'll see me. But I have been very happy what I've seen from this Padres team the last couple of weeks, and it's been exciting. 2-game lead in the wild card spot. So yeah, I mean it's been solid. Could it be better? Yeah. Are there things we want to keep seeing? 100%. We're seeing Nando get hot. Like we start seeing some of these guys get hot. You start kind of, okay, we're getting a few games over 500, more and more and more. It's gonna feel really good. And it's like, all right, let's Let's get to the playoffs. Let's get in the playoffs. This team's been nasty on the road, so that's what we're hoping for. And it's been a successful season at this point, and hopefully that continues. Hopefully, we see them make a couple minor moves at the All-Star break. I don't want to see them go crazy, but yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So, with that said, I'll talk to y'all later. Isaac, Chase, what do you guys?
I think I'm gone too.
You guys taking off? Yeah, everyone's taking off.
I think I'm
We've
good.
been on for a while.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Any last remarks before we take off?
If we kept 3 of our lefty pitchers that we traded away, I think we'd be in a lot better of a position. But hey, Ryan Weathers aside, Ryan Weathers has like a 3.4 ERA right now. I won't care. He shut out the Diamondbacks when I was there, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna go watch a great game. The Diamondbacks are gonna score a bunch of runs. He fucking shut them out, and it pissed me off. Anyway, Robert Gasser, we should have kept. Mackenzie Gore has been on fire. Those are 2 young arms where we could obviously need. So let's not trade away our guys again, and let's develop our own talent. Like I keep screaming from the roofs like a madman.
As long as Musgrove's arm is cooked, I will say opposite. Keep Snelling, maybe keep Lesko. I don't give a damn about everyone else.
Keep Mazur, Snelling, and Lesko. You can send the rest to the moon. How about that?
Who's the rest?
Who's what?
I said, who's the rest?
That's right. Yeah, who is the rest?
Exactly. We need those 3.
I agree with you, Chase. All right, guys. We'll talk to y'all soon. Have a good night. Go Padres. See y'all. Peace.